The inmate is Charles Manson.
We have some Manson memorabilia that Charles Manson has created since he's been incarcerated here at Corcoran.
During one of our shoots at California State Prison, Corcoran, our crew barely got a glimpse of Manson before he covered up his window. A recent mugshot shows how much he has aged since first coming to prison in 1971. But his artwork provides a unique insight into his life behind bars.
Here's a scorpion that he's made, basically just taking thread from various types of items, socks and t-shirts and towels, and he creates it and uses, looks like a marker to color it. This is probably one of the items that he makes the most of would be scorpions.
Fam, what's going on, man? It's your boy E.I. the King, and this is the Incarceration Podcast. Today, I'm doing a reaction video of some of California's worst prisons, and we're going to take a look specifically at Charles Manson's hidden prison hobby. But before we go ahead and get into this video, man, y'all do me a favor. Like this video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't, and let's go ahead and check out some of the worst prisons in the state of California. And we're going to take a look at the convict Charles Manson, some of his hidden prison hobbies. Let's go ahead and check it out, y'all.
Coming up on Lock Up Raw.
One of the items that he makes the most of would be scorpions and spiders.
The confiscated artwork of America's most infamous inmate. While some inmates might spend their time behind bars creating mayhem, we've met plenty of others who choose a very different path. They use their time in prison to do something constructive. For many, that means turning to art. Paul Majors had been in and out of prison for most of the last 23 years when we met him at the Riverbend Maximum Security Institution in Tennessee.
Well, it's therapeutic for me because it gives me a chance to escape and to release a lot of tension. You know, I can look at the situations in the world today, and what I can't say verbally, I can say in a picture, because they say a picture paints 1,000 words, or can say 1,000 words, and I guess this is my way of saying 1,000 words. I use acrylics, watercolors, soft pastel, chalk pastels, pen and ink. They gave me a stick and mud, I would use it. Anything I get my hands on, I can use.
And some prison artists, especially those confined to high security cells, nearly have to go to such lengths to create art.
I got different techniques, but sometimes I just take the colors off of M&M and I kind of lick a piece of paper and I fold it to a cone and just touch it on the M&M and the color comes out. I use that as color. And a pen, that's right.
Because of his high security level as a confirmed gang member, we could only shoot David Hampton's art outside his cell at Pelican Bay. A correctional officer offered to hold it in place for our camera. But at another California prison, one inmate's artwork is either immediately confiscated and destroyed or kept in a secured location. The inmate is Charles Manson.
We have some Manson memorabilia that Charles Manson has created since he's been incarcerated here at Corcoran.
During one of our shoots at California State Prison, Corcoran, our crew barely got a glimpse of Manson before he covered up his window. A recent mugshot shows how much he has aged since first coming to prison in 1971. But his artwork provides a unique insight into his life behind bars.
Here's a scorpion that he's made, basically just taking thread from various types of items, socks and t-shirts and towels, and he creates it and uses, looks like a marker to color it. This is probably one of the items that he makes the most of would be scorpions and spiders. This is, I would assume, something like a harp, and he's made it out of toilet paper and newspaper. This looks like some dental floss, a small stick, and probably for the coloring he used Kool-Aid to get the coloring for it.
Why do you guys have this stuff?
He's not allowed to have it. Occasionally we go through and do cell searches and just confiscate all items. He doesn't have a hobby card.
Bro, that's absolutely insane. So before we go ahead and talk about Charles Manson, I just want to go ahead and talk about talent in prison. I say it all the time in this channel, bro, some of the most talented people are incarcerated. And I just think because a lot of people who are incarcerated coming from a lifestyle of crime really didn't have the opportunity or time or took the initiative while they were free to really discover or even to fine tune and develop their gifts and their strengths. So whenever people are incarcerated and you got nothing but time on your hands, a lot of these people will actually discover or rediscover these gifts and these talents that they've had or just discover for the first time. And they develop such a strong love and passion for that gift, whatever it is. Here, obviously, is a lot of like hobby, craft making and artistry and things like that. But not only like people who can paint portraits or do paintings but like all different types of stuff. And of course, like some people are fire at all these things, but you got everything from people making pop-up cards to writers who write music, people who literally write like real music sheets, you know what I mean, and play it in the chapel or on the rec yard in the band room, or people who learn instruments, public speaking, people who develop a passion for education and not only educate themselves, but then facilitate and lead educational classes or other type of programs, all various different types of things. I think one of the craziest, most unique things that I've ever seen done, probably because it was funny because it's my homie Doink. I'll do another full episode just about Doink himself, but Doink was absolutely insane. Lunatic, great guy, but definitely off of his rocker. And he used to always sing these crazy, funny, goofy songs, but what he would do is he would make these little guitars, kind of like little box guitars with toilet paper rolls, and he would actually have strings on it. He could real deal play the guitar and the notes with these guitars that he would make, but he would make them so he would send them home to his daughter. They used to never send him home, but he would go to war with the property room like every couple months, bringing his guitars down there trying to sell them. I think some property sergeants would send him home to his daughter, some wouldn't. But I remember being up there one day to get a book that I got sent to me, and I was up there while Doink was raising hell. You know, he was so mad that they weren't sending his guitar out to his daughter, but it was something sentimental that he was doing for his daughter, so I felt him on that. But bro, Charles Manson, dog, he's got some crazy stuff. So first of all, man, I'm actually surprised that he didn't want no media attention, but because he's probably one of the most infamous like incarcerated individuals throughout American history, he probably had a gang load of like huge media production teams trying to interview him, trying to come see him, like ABC, you know, a whole bunch of big broadcast networks, I'm sure. So I'm pretty sure he has done some interviews in the past. So he probably, the older he got, he was like, man, I'm done with this. He probably didn't want to do it. So anytime that a media team came through, you know, as you could see, he put like his bed sheet up, like, yo, I don't want to rap, I don't want to talk. But that would have been pretty cool if he would have interviewed with them. But it's crazy that they're just confiscating all of his craft and hobby work. And you can see, man, his stuff is intense. I think that's like a dream catcher. But honestly, bro, it's all pretty dark and kind of scary and demonic, like, you know what I mean? Like scorpions and spiders and the harp that looked a little dark, you know what I mean? That's pretty crazy, dog. But all the convicts watching, man, go ahead and put in the comments, what are some of the most unique artistic hobby craft like designs that you've seen while you were incarcerated, whether it was you or whether it was another convict? Let me know with the details in the comments. And if you remember, a few weeks back, I did a reaction video to a guy who would take the little pieces of soap that he would find in the shower, use soap, and then he would collect it and use it to make soap sculptures. How disgusting was that, bro? All the, you know, you can just imagine what's on the shower floor, especially in the drain. You know what I mean? That's where guys are handling their business, getting off at. You know what I mean? This guy's just picking up all the used soap. Disgusting. I think I seen one of the funniest comments on that video. He was like quotations, like the guy speaking, here's one of my soap sculptures with every convict semen that's in the soap is in the sculpture. He said something nasty like that. But yeah, that was disgusting, bro. So again, all the convicts watching, bro, let me hear the most unique, crazy hobby craft like things that you saw made while you were incarcerated. So look, family, it's your boy the King, and this is the Incarceration Podcast. And family, look, I got a fire HBO style series on the full episode playlist. It's a chronological journey of my 12 years in prison. It's called The Incarceration. Season 1 has been out, but season 2 is just now coming out. But to access it, you have to become an all access member to this channel. And this is a preview clip of season 2 right here. Non-stop chaos all day, every day. No exaggeration. Nothing but yelling, fighting, and occasionally stabbings. One thing I began to realize as well at JIT camp is that people had knives for sure, but they call them fence pokers. Little wire that people unravel off the fence posts. They sharpen it up on the floor and it becomes a knife. But they're small and they're really skinny. So even though they go in and out real quick and real fast and, will puncture people, it's not really deadly unless you hit somebody in the jugular or in the eye or something like that. For the most part, I began to realize at JIT camp that stabbings were just to try to get people off the compound. Because normally when people will get stabbed, they go to medical, they go to confinement, and they transfer them to a different JIT camp for their safety. But in adult camp, it's different. At adult prisons, when people are getting stabbed, it's because someone's trying to kill you. And also, if you didn't know, man, I am a rapper. My artist name is EI the King. You can find my music wherever you listen to your music at. Go to my artist YouTube channel, EI the King, to check out my music videos. Follow me on Instagram, EI the King, TikTok, EI the King the Official, and family. Look, I got 3 other YouTube channels. Obviously, my official artist channel with my music videos, EI the King. I got Real Crime Stories Unlocked, and then a new YouTube channel. It's called Low Budget Traveling, where I'm showing you, all of our fellow convicts, or any average everyday American, that you and I, we can travel abroad internationally on a low budget. So at the end of this video, all the links are going to be in the description. At the end of the video, go ahead and click those links. It's going to take you to my new channel. Subscribe, follow, check out the content. It's fire. And family, look, we're on the journey to 100,000 subs. Right now, we're at 50K. I appreciate all the day one viewers and day one subscribers. If you have not yet subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Y'all do me a favor, go ahead and like this video right now. Y'all do me a favor, man. Go ahead and hype this video, bro, just so we can let people know, if they didn't know, the hidden passion and hobby of Charles Manson while he was incarcerated, man. Y'all go ahead and hit that hype button. And for all the convicts watching, if you did time in a county jail, state prison, federal prison, you want to share your incarcerated experiences, email me at eithekingbooking@gmail.com or DM me on Instagram at eitheking_. And as I interview you, I'll post your interview up on this channel. If you got a YouTube channel, social media, whatever you want to promote, I'll allow you to promote it throughout the interview. And y'all stay tapped in to more fire content to continue to come your way. It's your boy EI the King, and I'm out. Peace.